SmackDown 29th of March 2024 review, let's get into it. So the night starts off with Randy Orton and Kevin Owens versus Pretty Deadly in a pretty decent match, and the crowd literally pops for every single thing that Randy Orton does. But as I said, decent match, nothing spectacular. Pretty Deadly sold their asses off, but they also got some offense in. And then, of course, Logan Paul got involved and hit Kevin Owens with the brass knuckles after he snuck out from under the ring and then snuck back in under the ring without the ref seeing. Pretty Deadly got the surprise win. Nice win for them. But then what I liked is after the match, Randy Orton seemed to be blaming Kevin Owens at first, or upset with Kevin Owens. But then he looked on the Titantron and saw what happened, saw the replay that the crowd obviously gets, and used his brain. It's good to see wrestlers not being stupid for a change. So he went under the ring, found Logan Paul, attacked Logan Paul, but then Pretty Deadly got back involved, and they basically took the brunt of Randy Orton and Kevin Owens' attack, and that allowed Logan Paul to start escaping the arena as Randy Orton chased him. Eventually, Logan Paul got into a car and drove away. I like this. Good segment. Something different to enhance their story. I liked it. It was good stuff. Then we move on to a segment between Bayley and Iyo Sky, where Iyo Sky was basically doing a promo package at the Performance Center. So she was basically saying things like Bayley is a narcissist, she's an embarrassment to WWE, she was an embarrassment to Damage Control, and they basically hung on to her until they couldn't anymore. This was all done in Japanese, by the way. And then Bayley comes out of nowhere and attacks Iyo Sky, and they break out into a huge brawl, throwing light stands and like photography lighting or camera work lighting at each other. Good stuff. I liked it. It showed a rough side to Bayley, which we needed because Bayley has come across as very soft in recent weeks. I really liked it. I'm enjoying these segments outside of the usual WWE landscape, out of the arena. It really brings a different feel to the product. Then we got the thing everybody's talking about, and that was the debut of Jade Cargill. I say debut, she's been on the show before, but this was the real debut. She has now signed to SmackDown, and this is the start of something big, I assume. Anyway, Nick Aldis calls her or introduces her out to the ring. She comes in, amazing entrance. She looks like an absolute star with that entrance. I really love it. Anyway, she comes out to the ring, cuts a promo, basically saying WWE has one of the best rosters in the world, but nobody is like her. And then she says a storm is coming, which is basically her catchphrase. Then we get Kayla Braxton backstage, busy interviewing Dakota Kai and Damage Control. And Dakota Kai basically says that Bayley will be embarrassed at WrestleMania and that she's going to end up beating Bianca Belair in the main event of SmackDown. Ilse Dawn and Alba Fire run into Nick Aldis. When last have we seen them? Ilse Dawn says that she has billions and billions of ideas for herself and Alba Fire. Alba Fire kind of pulls her away, and then Nick Aldis kind of walks away confused. So that's pretty interesting. I'm excited to see what happens between them two because they're both excellent wrestlers that just don't get showcased. AJ Styles sees Nick Aldis in the walkway as well, and he confronts him saying, "Is LA Knight here? Are you sure he's not here?" Nick Aldis says, "I asked him not to be here," and this is when AJ Styles says, "You should have told him." We then get the Street Profits versus Theory and Waller, and a pretty exciting match. It's always going to be exciting with these four competitors. Very, very good wrestlers. But then we get a bit of a distraction for the Street Profits as on the big Titantron, we see Bobby Lashley and B-Fab lying on the floor in their locker room with Karrion Kross and Scarlett walking out. Dawkins runs off to the back with Montez Ford hitting a frog splash, but Theory reverses the frog splash into a pin and gets the win for his team, and they move on to WrestleMania. Now, I would have liked to see the Street Profits in this match. I think this is a match meant for the Street Profits, made for the Street Profits. But it's clear that they got a different plan for them, and I do think they're going to be seen at WrestleMania in some fashion. And with that being said, I do think Theory and Grayson Waller might be getting some tag team gold. I think they're going to somehow split the titles, but I do think Theory and Waller might be the ones. They've been doing the dirty work. They've been selling their asses off for everybody. They've been making a name for themselves. They've been grafting. I think they might get the reward. Then we get Legado del Fantasma coming out where Santos Escobar cuts a promo basically bragging about how he put Rey Mysterio on the shelf before calling out Dominik Mysterio to thank him, and not only thank him but apologize to him for not realizing what he was seeing in the past. For them, because obviously Santos was helping Rey in their feud a year ago. So now he's basically saying to Dom, "You were right this whole time about Rey, and I apologize to you." Then out comes Rey Mysterio and the whole LWO, and they have a little bit of a back and forth with each other before Rey challenges both Dom and Santos to a match between himself and a partner of his choosing. And who is that partner of his choosing? Well, it's the newest member of the LWO, Dragon Lee. Now, me personally, I like Dragon Lee, but I think Andrade might have been a good fit in this match. I really do. But Dragon Lee, excellent wrestler. The future, the next Rey Mysterio. Not sure if that's really possible to have a next Rey Mysterio. But nonetheless, great wrestler. Excited to see what they can do with this match. Could be a sleeper match, I'm not going to lie. I'm glad they found a way to fit Dom in this into WrestleMania. He's had such a good year. He deserves a WrestleMania match for sure. And then a brawl breaks out between LWO and Legado, with Dragon Lee actually doing a swanton bomb on the top, from the top rope to the outside on top of the whole Legado stable, except for Elektra Lopez, as she was busy fighting it out with Zelina Vega on the outside as well. Then we cut to Naomi and Bianca Belair backstage, where Naomi is basically hyping up Bianca Belair for a match, telling her she is the baddest, she is the roughest, she's the toughest, all those things. She is the EST. And they basically just have a good time at the back, getting ready for Bianca Belair's main event match. Then we see the Judgment Day confront Dom, because they did not know Dom was going to be involving himself with Santos Escobar. And they ask him, why did you tell us this? And then that leads to Damian Priest questioning everyone's individual plans and whether people have individual plans. And that brings to question Damian and his Money in the Bank briefcase. What is his plans at WrestleMania for himself individually and the briefcase? Then we have the Newcast Republic against Legado del Fantasma, and this was a pretty decent match as well. Four very, very good competitors. That's the thing about these tag teams. All very, very good workers at this point, especially on SmackDown. They got very good workers in their tag team division. With that being said, this was exactly what was expected from these guys. And then the Newcast Republic end up getting the win over Humberto in a decent match, like I say. I'm happy for the Newcast Republic. I think they deserve to be in this match. I think both men have been putting in graft on SmackDown recently, and Humberto and Angel Garza will get their moments at some point. But right now, it's the Newcast Republic's moments as they make it into the WrestleMania match for the Tag Team Championships. We then cut to Paul Heyman backstage. Where he says The Rock attacking Cody was an order from the Tribal Chief, and that Solo Sikoa has an order to attack Jey Uso next week on Raw from the Tribal Chief. AJ Styles then comes out to the ring and cuts a promo basically saying that these fans are the reason for LA Knight coming to his home and attacking him, and that he believes LA Knight is in the arena. He even chases the cameraman out, thinking that that could be him, but then someone jumps the barricade, a masked man jumps the barricade, but security make quick work of him and they reveal it's not LA Knight. But LA Knight was the security guard, and he ends up revealing himself and attacking AJ Styles to the point where AJ Styles eventually rolls away and runs into the crowd. LA Knight then cuts his usual promo afterwards and just hypes up this match even more. I'm excited for this match. This match has had a great build. And then in our main event, we had a match between Bianca Belair and Dakota Kai. Pretty standard match. It was pretty obvious who was going to win this match. It was very much a mismatch between these two. Dakota Kai does not stand a chance against Bianca Belair. Therefore, Bianca Belair ended up getting the win, but Damage Control were quick to jump into the ring and attack Bianca Belair. Naomi then came out to make the save, but she was stopped and outnumbered eventually. And then out comes Jade Cargill for the second time in the night and does light work of Damage Control, makes light work of them, takes them all out, and stands tall with the baby faces. Looks like we have another match for WrestleMania. With that being said, SmackDown was pretty good. When I saw that none of the top stars, as in Cody, Roman, The Rock, none of them were going to be on SmackDown, I was quite excited to see other stories build. And that's exactly what they did here on SmackDown. They built all the other stories. We got further storyline between Damage Control and Bayley, and then of course Bianca, Naomi, and now Jade. We saw Jade make a debut. We got further storyline between AJ Styles and LA Knight. We even got some story between Legado and LWO. I think it was good stuff all round. It really built towards Mania and made some more matches for us for Mania. With that being said, the night did lack a certain level of star power, but that was okay. We understand the reasoning, and at least we got more matches for WrestleMania. So it allows for a more well-rounded card.